Hey buddies, my name is Andrey and I'm here to prove to you that Brazil is more than samba, football and carnival. Today I have the special guest, Uncle Brazil. So man, how are you?
I'm fine, buddy. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. And man, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so let's go. And the first question, and I love to ask this, who are you and what do you do?
So, I am Uncle Brazil. My name is Rodrigo, and I teach Portuguese to foreigners. I am from Rio de Janeiro, and in addition to that, to teach Portuguese to foreigners, I also create content about our language and about our culture. So, I have a blog, I have a YouTube channel, and I also have an Instagram where I give Portuguese tips and where I talk about tourism, Brazilian music, Brazilian movies. That's what I do.
Awesome. And it's the first time that I have a carioca here. And if you don't know what it is a carioca, it's a person who were born in Rio de Janeiro, right? In our
That's
accent.
it. Exactly, man. With the
And
Carioca's accent.
yeah, and let's gonna, dig this real culture because first of all, you are the first guest from Rio de Janeiro. And I'm curious to hear more about you, and I think that the foreigners as well. So, first of all, like, what can you tell us about Rio in general? I mean, the city, being a normal citizen.
Okay. Man, I love to live here. I was born here. I was raised here. So I love very much the culture here, the lifestyle. So, for example, I live in Copacabana. And
Hmm.
Copacabana, the place where I live, it's like 5 minutes from the beach. So my lifestyle, it's going to the beach every day before working. And this is like a life changing, the energy that I take from this lifestyle, it's very good to work the rest of the day. So the culture here, it's about beach, it's about music. People here is always very friendly. You know what I mean? I have
Hmm.
a student here in Brazil now, and he's in Rio now, and he was a little bit afraid because he doesn't speak Portuguese very well. But I told him, don't worry, people here are very friendly, and they will help you. And that's what I happened. That's what happened. I took him to a kiosk in
Oh,
Copacabana Beach, and
awesome.
everybody tried to help him. You know what I mean? So it made him feel more comfortable being here and not speaking Portuguese very well.
Amazing. Yeah, interesting. And I have the feeling that probably Rio is the because in general, 5% of the Brazilian population speak Portuguese, which is like really bad. But I would say 4% it's in Rio because you have a lot of foreigners and it's the epicenter of the Brazilian culture is inside of Rio, and so you have a lot of foreigners. As you said, German, French. You told me a few minutes ago. And do you have the feeling that in Rio people know more English than the rest of Brazil?
These numbers are correct,
Hmm.
okay? And the problem is people here speak English, but only in the touristic spots. You know what I mean?
Mm.
If a tourist goes to Christ Redeemer, to Sugarloaf, to a barbecue restaurant, so they will speak English. But apart of that, people don't speak English.
Hmm.
So they do speak English, but only in few places. So
Uh,
those who don't speak even a little bit of Portuguese, they struggle a lot being here to communicate, to express themselves. You know what I mean? So it's better to know some words to handle some situations here. That's what I always suggest to everybody that comes to Brazil, to Rio de Janeiro, anywhere.
yeah, and yeah, entering this world of Portuguese, it's obvious, it's a fact that our way to speak it's kind of different. Maybe the foreigners can be confused because let's say a word. I say escola, and you?
Mhm. I say escola.
So I already heard from foreigners saying that the sh sound maybe can be difficult to to get it, because
Yeah.
they say like, well, I was in Rio and they were like shh all the time, and in São Paulo, for example, they have a little bit. It's different, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you are a Portuguese, so how could you suggest about when you're learning Portuguese, like the sh sound? It's important. What do you
Yeah.
think to learn all
So
the
that's
languages culturally?
interesting point because that's what I always say to my students, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Brazil, it's such a huge country with so many different accents, you know. And when you are learning a new language, it's good to have contact with all the possibilities. So I have students that started to study with me, but before me, they were studying with a teacher from São Paulo, for example. So they already know that accent. And then with me, they learn the carioca's accent. So if you have the opportunity to study with teachers from different parts of Brazil, it will help you a lot, a lot. And some students of mine, they get confused with this, you know, with this pronunciation. But that's how it is. If you go to somewhere if you are learning English, for example, or any other language, it will also happen. But I think learning Portuguese, it happens more often, and it's more complicated. You know what I mean? So it's complicated for them. I understand that.
Yeah, maybe they have the feeling that, oh, so this is pronunciation of this kind of word, but actually it's all about accent. So if you say escola, that's fine, it's the same
Mhm.
thing. I don't have problem also. Of course, when I hear a foreigner speaking Portuguese and I see like a sh sound, I'm like, so, you got from carioca, right? And yeah,
Mhm.
sure,
Mhm.
so, and that's totally fine because, as I said, Rio, it's the epicenter. So as we talked, for example, the carnival, even samba, was kind of a born there, right? And we did like that research that samba started in Salvador, which is the capital of Bahia, another
Mhm.
state here in Brazil, and then came to Rio, and then in Rio developed, and now we have samba, which is one, the most popular Brazilian genre of all time. Everybody knows about samba, and also carnival, it was developed there also.
Mhm.
So, and this is a question that I would like to ask you. You like samba and carnival, like being a Brazilian? Can you ask it? Can you answer this?
Oh, I do like I do like samba. I don't like very much the samba from the carnival parade. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
I'm not
mm-hmm.
such a big fan, okay? But the samba, the musical gender, I do like. And it's very interesting, man, because most of I used to work with tourism. Before
Mm-hmm.
teaching Portuguese to foreigners, I was a tourist guide. So most of my clients that came here, they were interested in carnival, in samba. So it's very strong out there. It's part of our culture. And speaking about carnival, I prefer the carnival in the streets here. I have never been to Salvador, so I don't know the carnival there. I imagine it's bigger than here. It's huge. But the carnival from the parades from Sambódromo. The name of the place where they make the parade is Sambódromo, okay? The samba schools and that. I don't like very much. But the samba from the streets, we call them blocos de rua. Blocos de rua. Those I like, you know. And they Rio de Janeiro, it's a big scene to this kind of carnival, you know. And it's very interesting because they take different genders of music and they mix with samba. For example, we have a singer called Chico Buarque. Chico Buarque. He's not that famous out there, but here in Brazil, he's very. I like very much. He's famous here. So there is a bloco. Let's call it bloco. Okay, a group bloco. There is a group. There is a bloco that mixed Chico Buarque with samba, and
Mm.
the name of the group is Mulheres de Chico. Mulheres de
Ah,
Chico. And
yeah.
it's very interesting, man. When I teach that to my students, it's an expression in Portuguese because Chico, Chico. mulheres de Chico, it means that mulheres de Chico Buarque, but it's also mulheres de Chico. Chico, it's when the woman, they have the period. Yeah?
Yeah.
So they made a joke. This kind of carnival, I like very much, you know what I mean? That's what I like.
Yeah. I mean, I love the streets parties because everybody is in the same vibe. You know, we are enjoying, having some drinks. You know, I never been to any sambódromo because we have in São Paulo
We
also,
do have, yeah.
and Samba schools is the same thing. But you know, I mean, these kind of cars and costumes really colorful. You know, I don't like so much. So two Brazilians are saying to the listeners that Carnival, it's okay, it's part of Brazil. That's true, but it's not only that, right? And another question that I thought right now, what can you say about the hidden gems in Rio? Like, I'm not talking about Christ of the Redeemer, Sugarloaf, I mean, or even Escadaria Celarón. So, which hidden places that the foreigners don't know in general would you
Man,
suggest?
this is very interesting, okay? Because, like I told you, I used to work with tourists, and that's what I always try to offer to my clients. I know that if you go to Paris, for example, you will visit Eiffel Tower, yeah? That's
Obvious.
okay. So if someone comes to Rio de Janeiro, Christ the Redeemer, Sugarloaf, it's very nice to visit because they are very good places to be. Amazing view, amazing structure. So I always suggest them to visit these places. But in addition to that, I always suggest to visit these places that are not very touristic. I am a person that likes very much the nature, and Rio de Janeiro, it's a very rich city talking about nature. So I have like I told you, I have a student here. He's from United States. He's from New York.
Hmm.
Okay, and New York, you have the Central Park, yeah, but apart of that, you don't have too many places to visit
That's true.
related to nature. So he wanted to see our nature. I took him to hike. There is a waterfall close to the South Zone. The waterfall is inside Tijuca Forest. So
Ah, mhm.
I took him to hike with me, and at the end of the hiking, we found this waterfall. So this is the kind of places that I like to take the tourists. You know what I mean? We have Copacabana, we have Ipanema, and we have Leblon, which are the beaches, the most famous beaches here in Rio de Janeiro. But this is South Zone. If we go west, we will find beautiful beaches as well. So I like to take my clients to that part of the city as well. That's what I like to do.
Yeah,
Everything related to nature.
yeah, I agree. You already answered another question. I would ask interesting places to visit. I think that you already answered. And another point, because Rio de Janeiro is not only a city, we have a state called Rio de Janeiro
Mm-hmm.
also.
Mm-hmm.
So, how how many cities would you suggest to visit around Rio? Because I know about Búzios, Arraial
Yeah.
do Cabo,
Mm-hmm.
Paraty, right?
Mm-hmm. So it depends on what the client, what the tourist likes. Yeah. But for example, Búzios, it's a very beautiful city if you like beaches, you know. If you like waterfall, we have other places around here. The problem is that a tourist that comes to Brazil, he doesn't have a lot of time. The average that a tourist comes from United States, from Europe, he stays in the city around 3-4 days. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
not a long time to visit other places, you know. But if a tourist came and stayed here for 1 month, I would suggest to go to Búzios, for example. There is another place of the city that I like very much, which is Ilha Grande. Ilha
Mm.
Grande.
Mhm.
Have you ever been there? Not yet.
Ilha Grande, not yet, not yet.
Okay. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. You need at least 2-3 days to explore the whole island, you know? Last week, I was with my family in a city called Aldeia Velha. Aldeia Velha.
Never heard before.
It's not touristic. Not even the cariocas know this city because it's very small, but it has beautiful waterfalls. You know what I mean? So I took my family. We drove around 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and we went to this city. You know what I mean? That's what I like to do around Rio de Janeiro. Because inside the city of Rio, we don't have a lot of big waterfalls. You know, we have small waterfalls. But if you travel, if you drive for 1 hour, you will reach these big waterfalls. That's what I like to do, man.
Awesome. And I even know that we have waterfalls in Rio. Actually, I never heard before because it's always exported outside of Brazil and inside of Brazil also, being a person from São Paulo, it's the obvious places, you know, and it's all about beaches and the Sugarloaf Mountain, always Tijuca, Botanical Garden, the stadium also, which is Maracanã is the, you know, it's like the resume of soccer in Brazil, you know.
Yeah.
So it's everything is there, you know. You should go there if you are a person who loves soccer. And another question, like, I'm a foreigner, I'm going to Rio. What I need to know about Portuguese, like which kind of questions, for example?
Good question, man. Good question. I created a content called Helpful Expressions. You know, the first things you need to know before coming to Brazil, like simple expressions. Good morning, good night, please, thank you, welcome, where is the bathroom? You know what I mean? The first words that you need to know before coming here and not struggle in communicate. So I think these are the most important expressions to know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And we talked about the cities, about Portuguese also. Do you have like that? There is a kind of food like typically from Rio, because I never searched it before.
Yeah, man, I will tell you. As a carioca, I will tell you what I like and where I see most around the city. Okay, I think barbecue. It's in the first place. Barbecue, it's in the first place. Okay, if you go to the beach, okay, Copacabana, Ipanema, you will see people having and making barbecue in the sand, in the beach.
Oh, okay? Interesting.
If you walk around the city, you see a lot of steakhouses. Okay, another thing that it's very popular here, it's pizza. Cariocas eat a lot of pizza. Okay, everywhere you see a pizza restaurant. Okay, and the third one, which has become very popular, okay, like from 10 years to now, maybe, okay, Japanese food. Cariocas, they love Japanese food. You can see restaurants everywhere, and the prices became a little bit more popular, so you can afford. I'll give you an example, okay, to the people that to everybody that is hearing this podcast. For example, you can have like all you can eat for 80 reais, around 80 reais. It would be around $15, around $15. So a foreigner can afford this very easily, yeah? And for us, 80 reais, it's expensive, but once in a while, you can go there. So I would say these three meals: barbecue, pizza, and Japanese food. Okay? I think that's the most. My student that is here, he came here, man, I need to go to a steakhouse. I want to taste it. And feijoada as well, yeah? But feijoada, I think it's famous everywhere.
I agree, yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe. So he wanted to go to a steakhouse. That's what he wanted.
Oh, awesome. And I remember something here, just to finish this podcast. Because we have this a kind of we are kind of rivals, right? People from São Paulo and Rio, and we always make this fight about biscoito versus bolacha, right?
Yeah.
Which is like a cookie, right, in English.
Uh-huh.
And people from São Paulo say bolacha,
Uh-huh.
and people in Rio biscoito, right? So
Uh-huh.
for you, what it is bolacha?
Man, when bolacha here in Rio de Janeiro, it's used as an expression, okay? I remember a mother can say to a son, if you don't stop, I will give you a bolacha. A bolacha. It would be like a,
Like a
a nap. How do
yeah,
you
yeah.
say?
It's I forgot also, but a slap in the
A
face.
slap on the face. It
Yeah.
would be like that. I'll give you a bolacha. So in Rio de Janeiro, that's what it means. Here we say, and we don't say biscoito. We say
Oh.
biscoito.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, biscoito. Yeah. Sorry.
Biscoito. Almost with X, you know what I mean? Biscoito. Oh, man,
Biscoito.
people. But let me tell you something else. It's interesting because I am in Rio, okay? You are in São Paulo, okay? Different states, different cities. We are far away. We are around 500 kilometers, something like that, okay?
Yes.
But we don't need to go too far. I am in the city of Rio de Janeiro. Close to Rio de Janeiro, there is another city called Niterói. Niterói. We have this famous bridge here that links Rio to Niterói, okay? And there, if you cross the bridge, people will talk in a different way. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I didn't know.
Yeah, man. I'll give you an example. There is a Brazilian snack, okay, called joelho. Have you ever heard about this snack?
No, only Globo. Only Globo.
Joelho, it's a snack with ham and cheese, okay? It's like a bread with ham and cheese, but this bread, it's closed. You know what I mean? It's baked. It's very tasty. It's very good. And here in Rio de Janeiro, it's called joelho. Joelho in English, it's knee. Yeah, but that's how we call this snack. If you go to Niterói, it has a different name. They call it Italiano.
Oh, gosh.
Italian. So they are 13 kilometers far from us, but even there, they change. You know what I mean? Prepositions, they speak in a different way. Eu vou na casa do buddy. I'm going to buddy's house. Eu vou na casa do buddy. They say, eu vou na casa de buddy. You know Man, it's very interesting. Language, man, it's fascinating, you know. I love it. And even there, they speak in a different way from us, you know. So that's it, man. They speak different. If you go to the next neighborhood here, people will speak in a different way.
Yeah, so there is not actually like a São Paulo accent or Rio. You have actually more accents inside of the other states also. Like Minas Gerais is different.
For sure.
People from Amazonas, Baiano, you know, they speak differently.
Yeah.
And just to finish, I remember now. Can you teach us Rio slangs?
Rio slangs?
Like meu irmão, or I don't know.
Man, we say a lot irmão. Irmão. Good. Yeah.
Which is like a dude, like, hey,
dude.
buddy.
Yeah. We also use a lot of words from English. For example, brother. But we say our accent. With our accent. E aí, brother? E aí, brother? We use a lot beleza. Beleza. Beleza in English means beauty. But as an expression, it's used like I'm fine. Is everything okay? Everything is okay. So we use a lot.
Beleza. Like, what's up? Beleza?
E aí?
E aí?
We say, e aí? So, using two expressions. E aí? Beleza? And the person answers, beleza, tranquilo. Tranquilo. It's another expression that we use a lot. Two more that I was speaking with a student of mine. Let's go to the waterfall. We don't say, vamos na cachoeira. Vamos na cachoeira. We say, bora. Bora na
Bora.
cachoeira? Bora na cachoeira? B-O-R-A. Bora na cachoeira? And in a more local way, partiu cachoeira?
Partiu. Yeah. We use also.
You use
I,
partiu.
I I think that there is some slangs that because I'm from the coast side of São Paulo, and we use these words also, which is really,
Okay.
of course, we use brother also, but I mean,
You use a lot mano, yeah?
mano, yeah, mano,
M-A-N-O. Mano.
mano,
It's not that popular here. Mano, we don't
mano.
use.
Yeah,
Brother,
it's
cara.
for São Paulo. O cara. Aí, moleque,
Ai,
you know.
moleque.
Yeah.
Moleque. Yeah.
And
And
it's
man,
all, and I say moleque, and you guys like moleque. E aí, moleque.
e aí, moleque? We say with you, moleque. And man, it's very interesting because I am 38 years old, okay? And I am every day at the beach, you know what I mean? And there you can see people from all from every ages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I see young people with completely different slangs from mine, you know what I mean? They are speaking in a completely different ways because language is alive, yeah? It evolves. So that's it, man.
Uncle, it was really fun to talk with you. I think it was one of the most funniest episodes that I did because we could dig inside of the Rio culture. It was really awesome. So thank you so much. Do you have your last words? Do you want to share your social medias?
Man, first of all, I want to thank you for this invitation, okay? It means a lot to me. I want to congratulate you for your project,
Thank you.
okay? It will be very famous, okay? And then, like I told you, I have a blog. It's unclebrasil.com. I have a YouTube channel, Uncle Brazil, and my Instagram, Uncle Brazil as well. I give Portuguese tips, I talk about Brazilian culture, tourism, music, and it will be a pleasure if you visit me there. Thank you very
Yeah,
much, man.
I'm gonna put all the links below. My name is
Thank you, man.
Andrey, or you can call me Brazilian Buddy. You can find me everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You know, I am everywhere also. So thank you so much. Muito obrigado for this episode, and I see you on the next episodes, buddies. See ya. Ciao.